This link from things back to Obsidian should be broken because I renamed the file that it points to ages ago, but my links are unbreakable. Here's how. Current you, this you, wastes future you's time all the time. It's actually really rude when you think about it, because when current you knows that future you is going to want to know where something is, do something about it and leave them a link. Here's what you do. You're in Obsidian working on this thing, and you want to be in that same project in things or anywhere else. It's the same principle. So you click over here and you find it every time and you remember exactly where it is, and it's not in that area, and you put it in here and you're fumbling around, right? And this is just boring and pointless. Don't do this. When I created this project, I knew exactly where it was because I was in it at the time. I just created it. So at that point, I put a link over here in Obsidian. And so future me now, all of them forever, can just click this link now. And I've put a link back from things to Obsidian, so I can just ping pong around between the two. It takes about 20 seconds to create them. I'll show you that at the end. By default, you can just right click on a file or in a tab anywhere in Obsidian and copy path as Obsidian URL. And that'll give you this URL, which you can use to open the node again. But I don't use that because if you look at the URL, see how it's got the file name in it. Well, let's now rename that file, which is a thing you shouldn't be afraid to do. You're going to rename stuff all the time. And now that link is broken. So that's rubbish. Don't do that. Here's a better way. My links look like this. They anchor to this piece of text that you choose. So that's why I call it a permalink. So these links are impossible to break. The file name has become irrelevant. And you can even move this permalink around if you want, and the link will always bring you to this spot. So the secret is these permalinks, which you create and name. And this is a built-in feature in Obsidian called a block. You type the caret symbol and then some text to define a block. There are restrictions on the characters you can use, not many to be honest, but if it's tiny and grey like this, it's good, and if it's in normal text like this, it's not going to work. Stick with characters, numbers, and the hyphen. I'm usually in a note with a Johnny.Decimal ID, so I'll use that ID as the block name. You can't use decimals, so I just leave it out. If you've got more than one block on a page, you can add more words with a dash. Because these blocks need to be unique in your vault, which is why using Johnny.Decimal IDs is nice. You've already got a unique ID right there that you can use. To link to this permalink, you need the Advanced URI Community plugin. So find it and install it. And URI is just a technical term for a link. This next bit looks fussy, but you've only really got to do it once, and then you can just use copy paste in the future. Because when your cursor is on the permalink you just created, hit Command P to bring up the command palette, find Advanced URI, copy URI for current block, and you can just type that out and find it. And now if we have a look at the link that's created, it'll look something like this. The trick now is to find the part that contains the file path and just rip it out. So from this ampersand before file path down to this one just before block, just delete all of that. What's left is a link to this specific block in this specific vault. And as long as that block name is unique, Obsidian doesn't care which file it's in. Let's stick this in our things project as a markdown link, and now clicking that takes us back to Obsidian. Getting a link back to the things project is simpler. You click the dots, share, copy link. And now here's a trick for simplicity. We're going to add this link below this one. So we're in things and we're linking to things. Well, yeah, we're never going to use this link, but now we can just copy this whole block and paste it over into Obsidian. Because who cares that each block has this superfluous link to itself? Just ignore it. Don't click it. Clicking it doesn't do anything anyway. But it makes this act of creating this block, of duplicating this thing, much simpler every time. Because here's what I actually do when I create a new project. I right click and duplicate my template, I rename it, and I update the permalink number. It takes about 4 seconds, and now I've got this link ready to go. Then over in things, I've got a template project. I right click that, duplicate, and just update these last few numbers in the link to match. Don't bother typing the project name into things. You should have copied that out of Obsidian and just paste it in here. And now grab the link to this project, paste it in here, copy the whole block, and paste it over to Obsidian. And you can see how that actually takes about 20 seconds once you've got it all set up. So in summary, always be looking for opportunities to help future you by leaving yourself links. Always be looking for opportunities to help future you by doing that with templates. To make those links better, use the Obsidian permalink thing I just showed you. And all of this works really nicely with Johnny.Decimal IDs.